Don't take things for granted. It's something that you've probably heard before. Maybe you were told by one of your family members, or perhaps you learned it through reading something, or you might just learn it through experience. And you probably think that this quote is pretty true, but you don't think about it every day until something happens. And you can't blame people for not thinking about it. When you wake up, you're not thinking about how many good things that has happened in your life. You probably have so much things in your life that you had to worry about than just sitting there thinking about these things. Maybe you hate the schoolwork that you had to do. Maybe you hate your regular 9 to 5 job. Maybe you had to practice on whatever skill that you want to perfect. And when you have free time, you just want to play some video games, watch a movie, or watch a YouTube video, maybe go outside and hang out with your friends or spend some time with family. You don't think about the things that you should be grateful for in life. And this is me as well for the longest time. Even until now, I don't think about how grateful I should be, but I do think about it more often now. Being able to remind ourselves to be grateful for whatever we have and not taking things for granted, I think allows us to be more happy and less bitchy about everything. And since this is an anime focused channel, if you can't tell already, the anime that reminded me of this is oddly enough a romance anime with a super weird funny title. I Want to Eat Your Pancreas on the surface level is a very simple movie to understand. The movie is about a typical high school guy named Haruki, and when I say Haruki is typical, he is typical as it gets. He's average height, he's a typical loner who people ignore, he wants to be left alone, he barely has any friends. Actually, he doesn't have any friends at all. He doesn't have anything that makes him special or stand out. He's very closed off and he has a bit of social anxiety because he doesn't talk to anyone. He's just like the other typical rom-com anime protagonist, and with him being typical, all of a sudden he gets a cute girl who appears in front of him and starts to like him. And this is where the story gets really interesting. The girl's name is Sakura. No, I'm not talking about useless trash. I'm talking about this beautiful, elegant queen over here. Now, Sakura is an outgoing person. She dresses very well. She has a great sense of humor. She loves to socialize with other people, but she somehow ends up with this dense of a guy. Then, of course, the anime stuff has to happen. Out everyone around Sakura, he has to be the one that finds out that she has anime cancer and she's about to pass away. From that point onward, she starts to follow and hang around him so he can keep this secret from other people. And as time moves forward, he of course knows about her issue, and this is why I think Haruki messed up and doesn't try to open up or change anything about himself really. Even his mom tells him that he has no social life. Her spending time with him was the best thing that could have happened to him, and he took it all for granted. Throughout pretty much all the time that he spent with her, he has so many opportunities to improve as a person and he didn't do it. It almost seems like he wanted her to be gone so he doesn't have to deal with whatever she brings. His face impression when she's there just says it all. It's the same from the start and when they're supposed to have fun. Granted, I actually think he cares about her to some degree. He didn't try to take advantage of her even though he kind of knew that Sakura would have done it right then and there. But compared to the things that she has brought to his life he took granted for, just outweighs him caring a little bit about her. She gave him so many chances to upgrade his life by so much. For the first time in his life, he has a real friend, an actual person around his age that wants to talk to him every day. And he doesn't seem to care at all. Like, take this opportunity to improve your social skills. You haven't talked to anyone around your age for the longest time. She gives him excitement in his life, getting him into trouble and running away from it, and Haruki just doesn't seem to feel anything. Like, bro, how do you not feel anything? She's giving him an experience, a story that he can tell to other people in his life, and he just doesn't care. She invites him to go outside and hang out, but he doesn't want to have fun. Instead, he just keeps thinking about her health conditions. Like, dude, there's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing the doctors can do about it. So just enjoy the amazing experience that you're gonna have. This is probably the only few times you're gonna have an amazing time with her, so why not enjoy the moment with a beautiful view of the ocean? She gave him more chances to socialize by introducing him to her friend group. Now, granted, it does seem like everyone there hated him for a pretty dumb reason. Like, he just be existing and they already kind of dislike him just because Sakura gets along with him and likes him. They think he's doing some voodoo magic to manipulate her or something of that sort. And most importantly, she was there for him when he needed her the most, even though he looked super pathetic out in the rain. Sakura gave this man so many chances to improve his overall life and he didn't care at all. If you look at the other typical MCs from the other romance anime, they were a lot like Haruki, but one big difference between them and Haruki is if an opportunity comes along for them, they won't take it for granted. And they will use the opportunity to improve themselves and not sit there with the same boring face. They will open up and try the best with the opportunity that was given to them. They actually care about the people around them even though it's really hard for them to open up. The only time where Haruki actually changed was the last moment when she didn't make it and he finds out that she passed away. That was when he started to actually show a lot of emotion and regret. He actually started to try and life right at the end of the movie. He even opened up and became friends with Kyoko, the best friend of Sakura. His face expression changes at the Sakura graveyard scene. He seems more willing to try to live than just have no purpose and I don't want to be here, why is this girl following me? But at this point it was kind of too late in a way. He did change, but he could have changed when she was there. Everyone who's watching this can all learn a lesson from this man over here. Don't take things that you have for granted, whether it's big or small. Like, seriously, I know life can be a bitch to deal with sometimes. I mean, all it takes is one bad day for me, I'm already starting to whine, complain, bitch, all that. But you shouldn't take things for granted. I remember a lot of the times where I was just so unhappy and angry because I didn't have the things that I wanted, and I still kind of am now, let's be honest. But I'm more happy and in a better mood once I remind myself how fortunate I actually am. And you guys should feel this way as well, no matter where you are in life. The fact that you have free time right now to watch a random anime YouTube video is amazing. It's honestly a luxury if you think about it. Just like Haruki, you probably have people around you that can support you. Or maybe you just have enough money to support yourself where the bills are paid off and free time to watch this video. Not taking things for granted and being grateful is such a common sense thing to know about, but we need to be reminded of it more, me included. I mean, the chances of you existing is like 1 in a million. You're the sperm that made it. Even from personal experience, allow me to be less materialistic and whiny a lot of the times. Let me share you one of the things that I always wanted. For the longest time, I've always wanted this car, and it's called the Ferrari F812 Superfast. I don't know that much about cars, and you don't have to understand anything about cars, but just from looking at this car, you can already tell this bad boy is worth a lot of money. And as you guys all know, I'm broke. I'm driving a beat up 2001 used Toyota if I'm lucky in the future. But recognizing how many good things there are that I have in life, even though it's not a lot, I'm struggling. Like, trust me guys, when I say I'm struggling out here. It allowed me to not care about this car anymore. It's not like a cope. And I know some people will say that it's just cope. You're coping because you can't afford it. But that really isn't it. Like, I do not care about this car anymore. It looks freaking weird. The sound is loud as hell. And you drive it, you're most likely gonna get people bothering you a lot of the times. Like just random people that you do not care about bothering you because of how exotic it is. Who knows, some might try to rob you if you're not careful with it. If I have this car, it will bother me so much knowing if the condition is good or not. And I gotta be careful of where I park it because some people would literally try to steal it. But if I drive a beat up bike, it's less stressful. I do not care what happens to the condition as long as the parts don't fall off when I'm driving it. People can steal the stupid used bike. I don't care. Now, like I said again, this doesn't mean that you shouldn't work and try to get that paper, but you should wake up every day knowing that hey, life could be a lot worse, and I shouldn't take the things around me that I have for granted. And I think Haruki found that in the end. He seems more content with himself, more appreciative of the people and things that he has around him. So how I see the message from I Want to Eat Your Pancreas as a movie is don't take the opportunities or things that you have around you for granted because it could disappear one day. A lot of the people that surround you or things can shape you into a better person. Recognizing how lucky you are to be in the current position that you are in with whatever problems that you have at hand. Maybe your family is fighting, maybe you hate your job, maybe you hate college and the major that you're in, maybe you're like me and you're broke plus you're struggling with everything in life. But whatever it is, you should make the best with what you got in life. Don't complain, don't feel bad about your situation, don't be like these lonely anime dudes, and work as hard as you can, take many opportunities as you can to make a better life for yourself. So one day you can have enough money for the 812 Ferrari. God damn it, I really want this car. Why does this car have to cost so much? Why does it have to cost an arm and a leg? I really want it. Give it to me, please. I need money, please. I want this car.